Qualifying for the base 10 points. For the base 10 points, your municipality must select an energy tracking and management system, create a full building inventory, collect 12 months of complete utility data for each building in the inventory, and enter that information into the energy tracking and management system that you've selected. How can your municipality track and manage your building portfolio's energy use? Your municipality will need to determine what format to use for energy tracking and management. This can be as simple as documenting the necessary information on a spreadsheet or inputting the data into an online tool. What energy tracking and management tool you use is up to you. You have a number of options. You can create your own do-it-yourself spreadsheet. You can enroll in a tracking service. You can hire a professional consultant. You can purchase specialized software, or you can use one of the free online tools, such as Energy Star Portfolio Manager. This is a sample do-it-yourself spreadsheet for energy tracking and management using Excel. Utilities can be separated by sheets with columns for building name, meter number, and monthly charges. Energy Star's Portfolio Manager is a helpful option. Portfolio Manager is widely used and nationally recognized. It was developed by the U.S. EPA and Department of Energy. Setting up your Portfolio Manager account will require dedicated staff time to input facility data, but maintaining the records requires significantly less time. If your municipality is pursuing the additional optional 10 points for benchmarking and ongoing energy tracking and management, Portfolio Manager provides this service free of charge. Sustainable Jersey recommends the use of Portfolio Manager because, as we mentioned, it's free, and since it's a national tool, it has a large usage base that also allows data to be shared. Because of these benefits, we'll be using Portfolio Manager to walk you through the process of applying for the energy tracking and management action. Portfolio Manager is both a management tool and a metrics calculator. As a management tool, it can be used to assess whole building energy and water consumption, track changes over time, track green power purchases, share and report data with others, create reports, or apply for Energy Star certification. As a metrics calculator, Portfolio Manager will help organize and inform your energy management plan. Reports will easily generate energy and water consumption figures, greenhouse gas emissions, and an Energy Star score. You can also use Portfolio Manager to measure your carbon footprint. Portfolio Manager calculates your building's greenhouse gas emissions from energy use. You can use Portfolio Manager to track avoided emissions from green power purchase or on-site renewable energy installations. With Portfolio Manager's built-in financial tool, you can compare cost savings across buildings in your portfolio. By being able to quickly access figures that show the cumulative investments in facility upgrades or annual energy costs, you'll be better informed to make strategic decisions about how to manage your buildings. Access Portfolio Manager at energystar.gov/benchmark. Portfolio Manager also provides an easy-to-use data collection worksheet to help you gather the necessary input for your property types. This form, or one like it, will be very helpful as you complete the 3 steps needed to qualify for the base 10 points. You can download this form from the Portfolio Manager website at the URL shown here. To qualify for the base 10 points in the Energy Tracking and Management action, the next step is to establish an official building portfolio that includes all the buildings you want to track and manage. First, you need to identify all the municipal buildings that use energy, so all municipal buildings that have utility bills. These buildings must be included in your energy tracking and management portfolio. You'll need to document the name and address or location of each building along with a detailed description. This description should include, at minimum, square footage, year built, and an occupancy or use schedule. The gross floor area, or GFA, is the total property square footage. A property is typically a single building or part of a building, such as a single tenant space. Depending on which type you have, your exact GFA is determined differently. For a guide on how to measure gross floor area, you can look at the Portfolio Manager glossary, where GFA is defined as well as how to measure it for each property type. You can see that at the URL shown here. Year built is the year in which your property was constructed. If your property has undergone a complete renovation that included gutting and rebuilding the interior, then you can indicate the date of this renovation as the year built. Occupancy is the percentage of your property's gross floor area that is occupied and operational. For example, if you have a 10-story building that on average has 9 of its 10 floors fully leased and occupied, the occupancy would be 90%. If you have people working on all floors and areas of your building, then you're 100% occupied. You don't need to count empty cubicles for occupancy. Here we've attached a sample occupancy schedule for our hypothetical buildings: a community center, a municipal building, a police station, and a public works building. If your municipality has conducted a local government energy audit, or LGEA, on any of your municipal buildings, this information is likely already available to you. If you want to learn more about the LGEA program, check out a brief video at njcelc.com/LGEA. Here's an example from Middletown's LGEA for their Department of Public Works building. You can utilize Portfolio Manager's sample worksheet to organize the needed description information for your buildings. You'll need to collect 12 months of complete building utility data for each building in your portfolio by first identifying all energy accounts and determining usage. This can include electricity, including peak power demand, natural gas, oil, propane, and steam. To do this, you can either gather your utility bills or contact your utility. You may be able to request your utility to provide you with a 12-month report of your bills. You'll need these bills to determine and enter your monthly usage data. For the purpose of this lesson, we're assuming that you've collected or have access to these bills and understand how to read them. If you need more instruction on how to read your utility bills, please refer to our utility bill training video called Using Your Utility Bill for Program Apps at the URL shown here. An important step in collecting and understanding your utility data is to identify which bill goes with which building. Obtain the meter number from the physical meter for your building and match that to the utility account number. As noted earlier, if your municipality has already participated in the LGEA program, and if the information is current, much of the necessary data to complete steps 2 and 3 may already be readily available and simply needs to be organized. The LGEA typically creates a building inventory and collects at least 12 months of utility data. In addition, a Portfolio Manager profile may have already been created for your municipality. The examples shown here are from Andover Township's Town Hall LGEA. For Step 4, enter the data collected in Steps 2 and 3 into the Energy Tracking and Management System that you selected to establish a historical baseline. Using the data collection worksheet provided by Portfolio Manager, we gathered everything we need to enter for our community center and all of the buildings in our portfolio. The pages shown here are for our community center. The first page documents the basic description of the property, in this case a community center, including the name, address, gross floor area, and year built. The second and third sheet break down the gross floor area by the 3 uses of the community center: meeting hall, office, and fitness center, as well as the weekly operating hours, number of workers, number of computers, and percent that can be cooled and heated. How you organize your data is up to you. We're using this worksheet to show you an example. For example, here is the energy utility data that we collected for our community center. The community center uses natural gas and electricity. Note that in the meter name or ID field, we've entered the account number for this utility. As we mentioned earlier, this is very important for identifying which bills apply to which buildings. We entered our 12 months of utility usage into the meter data section of our Portfolio Manager data collection worksheet. So we now have the information neatly organized and at our fingertips for entering into our energy tracking and management tool. We created data collection worksheets for each building in our sample building portfolio. In addition to our community center, we also have a police station, a public works building, and a municipal building. You'll need to enter all of the data for each of your buildings into your selected energy tracking and management system. Here on Portfolio Manager, this first sheet is the summary of our Portfolio Manager profile. As you can see, we've entered our 4 properties: the community center, the municipal building, the police station, and public works. To add a building, simply click the Add a Property button at the top left of the page. This will open the page shown on the left, where you'll select a property type and indicate whether the property is part of a building, a single building, or multiple buildings. Portfolio Manager has guidance to help you determine what your building's property type is, in addition to many resources that will help a first-timer get started. You can access the Portfolio Manager Quick Start Guide for basic steps at this address. Additional training is also available on the Energy Star website, including videos, guides, and training sessions at this address. Clicking the Get Started button at the bottom of the page will bring you to this page, where you'll enter the basic information for this particular property that you've already collected. This includes the name, physical address, gross floor area, and occupancy. Clicking Continue will allow you to add any additional uses for your building. As you may remember, our community center had 3 uses: meeting hall, office, and fitness center. With Portfolio Manager, you'll simply continue selecting the additional use and provide the square footage, occupancy, and additional information for that use. If you took advantage of Portfolio Manager's data collection worksheet, this information is already at your fingertips. Once you've set up your building in Portfolio Manager, enter your utility data by clicking on the Energy tab and selecting Add a Meter. From there, select the type of meter, whether electric, natural gas, fuel oil, etc., and start entering your data. If you've created an inventory of your buildings, collected the utility data for all of these buildings, and entered the utility data into an energy tracking and management system, as we did with Portfolio Manager, you've completed all the necessary steps to qualify for the base 10 points of Sustainable Jersey's Energy Tracking and Management Action. You're now ready to submit. We'll walk you through the submission process separately.